Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Bold and beautiful. Today, Sheila totally loses it as a result of Katie's audacious hiring binge. Deke receives an amazing offer. After being dismissed by Forrester Creations, Deacon Sharp recruits his son, Deke Sharp, to work at Illinois Giardino on Monday, January 5th. When newlyweds Katie, Logan and Bill Spencer go out on a real date and visit Illinois Giardino, it will place Deke in the ideal position to have another chance at the future he envisions. Bill and Deacon end up chatting at the pizzeria's bar. Bill and Deacon are now getting along considerably better. They currently share an enemy in the Forresters, and there's that in-law atmosphere. Deacon will undoubtedly inform him that Deke was fired, and Bill will inform him that Katie is being targeted by the Forresters. You will undoubtedly disagree with it if you support Brooke Logan. It's really disorganized. I'm available for it. Bold and gorgeous 2-week spoilers for January 5th to 16th and beyond. Katie begins hiring and Sheila snaps. Sheila's tense meeting on B&B and Katie Logan's new business. Talking on Tuesday, January 6th, Katie and Deke discover they are soulmates. While Deke recently graduated from design school and is keen to establish himself, Katie has worked in the fashion industry on the PR side, with the exception of a brief tenure as CEO. Katie suggests at Illinois Giardino that she might be able to help Deke achieve his goals and that he could be able to assist her in disproving Brooke. Deke would be dumb to continue working as a waiter when he could be designing for Logan, and it appears that a job offer is on the horizon. Taylor Hayes is startled when Sheila Carter unexpectedly shows up at the hospital. Particularly in light of Sheila's unpredictable actions over Hope Logan and Liam Spencer's wedding, things are tight. Additionally, Taylor reminds her that since she is Deacon's therapist, they cannot be friends. Carter Walton, who is preparing a proposal this week, may learn anything from Daphne Rose on Tuesday. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila's enigmatic summons and Steffi blindsides Rich. Steffi Forrester surprises Rich Forrester and Carter with news in the Forrester Creations CEO office on Wednesday, January 7th. It might have to do with Katie and Logan or Taylor and Deacon. Sheila also calls Lee Finnegan, who is probably going to complain about Deacon, Taylor, and being barred from family gatherings. On Bold and the Beautiful, the chaos is far from ended. Steffi approaches Taylor after witnessing something startling on Thursday, January 8th. While Steffi cautions her mother not to break professional or personal boundaries, particularly when Sheila is involved, a flashback shows a private encounter between Taylor and Deacon. Carter's proposal to marry and an enigmatic new romance. At Illinois Giardino, Deacon confesses to Zende that he has affections for someone else, possibly Taylor. Deke might advise him to trust his intuition. Official spoilers reveal that Daphne eventually accepts Carter's proposal, despite her first attempts to let him down. Carter gives the ring and confesses his love. There's a chance that Taylor and Deacon will kiss on Friday, January 9th. Carter and Daphne talk about their future, possibly getting married and starting a family. Sheila's envy and the Logan fashion house's ascent. Sheila confronts Deke after listening in on him and Deacon. He might tell her outright that he, Hope, and other people are against her dating Deacon. Katie's fashion firm quickly comes together between January 12th and January 16th. The Forresters worry about losing employees as a result of her hiring. Brooke and Ridge choose the other side, while Bill and the Spencers support Katie. After being fired from his own company, Eric Forrester finds retirement difficult. Angry and frustrated, he looks for a fresh creative direction and might end up at Logan. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful. Katie Logan and Sheila Carter. Will Spencer and Taylor Hayes new rivalries in their pursuit of destiny? A recast RJ Forrester appears as a rival, posing fresh challenges for Electra Forrester and Will Spencer. Carter and Daphne discuss marriage and starting a family, which gives Daphne fresh perspectives. Taylor starts looking for her destiny, someone who prioritizes her, and Deacon is the obvious choice. Eric is by himself, gazing at framed pictures of previous collections. His expression hardens, determined rather than sentimental. Donna stealthily walks in. Donna, you were not asleep. Eric, I didn't go to bed. Donna feels uneasy. Donna, what are you going to do, Eric? Eric pivots slowly. Eric, this house was made by me. This business was created by me. Furthermore, I refuse to be led away from my own heritage. Donna gasped for air. Carter interrupts Ridge as he is going over sketches. Carter, you must enter the boardroom. Right now. A few moments later. At the head of the table is Eric. Members of the board murmur. Ridge, what is this? Eric meets his son's gaze. Eric, I'm taking back control here. A ripple of gasps. Eric, I'm turning on a contingency clause in the founder's trust with immediate effect. Ridge tenses up. Ridge, that cannot be done without. Eric, without my consent? Eric gives a chilly smile. Eric, permission comes from me. Katie uses her laptop to view news coverage. Anchor. According to sources, Eric Forrester is organizing a corporate uprising. Calculating, Katie lets out a breath. Katie, the king has returned to the chessboard. She grabs her phone and makes a call. Katie, Bill, it's taking place. Electra is working on a digital design non-stop. A notification appears. Unknown message. You're not worthy of that seat. Electra scowls. There's another message. Unknown message. They are observing you. Her self-assurance wavers. Cliffhanger at the end of week 1. Eric is by himself in the boardroom, signing paperwork. Ring week 2. Hidden doubts and wedding plans. Scene 5. A distraction or a proposal. As Daphne gets closer, Carter stands tensely. Carter. Waiting for the right time is not something I want to do. He takes a ring out. Carter. Get married to me. Daphne is shocked but torn. Daphne. I adore you. Beat. Daphne. However, there is anarchy all around us. Carter smiles softly. Carter. Next. Let's select certainty. She gives a slow nod. Sitting by herself, Taylor looks over the guest lists for the wedding. Steffi walks in. Steffi. Are you alright? Taylor pauses. Taylor. Instability is not resolved by weddings. Steffi looks at her mum. Steffi. Is this about you or about Carter? Taylor averts her gaze. Eric is cornered by Ridge. Ridge. You are causing the company to become unstable. Eric. I'm revealing complacency. Ridge. This is retaliation. Eric moves in closer. Eric. It's survival. Eric isn't bluffing, Ridge realizes. Electra's screen flickers. Opening a hidden folder reveals designs she never made. A tap. A staff member walks in. Staffer. Carter is eager to see you. Carter has a somber expression. Carter. Your login was used to submit these designs. Electra becomes terrified. Electra. That wasn't what I did. Carter lets out a sigh. Carter. Someone did. Bill and Katie meet. Katie. The board is being shattered by Eric's insurrection. Bill. Additionally, cracks make gaps. Katie gives a nod. Katie. I'd like a place at the table. Bill gives a slow smile. Bill. Then let's construct one for you. Week 2 cliffhanger end. Another message is sent to Electra. Unknown. You've already committed a crime. How loud it becomes is the question. She lets go of her phone. High voltage sign week 3. Colliding consequences. The wedding strikes a wall in scene 10. When Taylor gets close, Daphne looks over the decor. Taylor. Prior to heading down that aisle, Taylor pauses. Taylor. Verify that you are not fleeing from anything. Daphne's grin disappears. Ridge examines the most recent vote figures. Carter. A temporary majority was obtained by Eric. Ridge murmurs. Ridge. We were outplayed by him. Reporters are buzzing. Reporter. Did you disclose any private designs, Electra Forrester? Electra becomes frozen. Steffi looks on, torn. Steffi. She was set up by someone. However, evidence presents a different picture. Eric and Donna are seated together. Donna. You're succeeding. Eric gives a headshake. Eric. No. He examines a picture of Ridge. Eric. My son is leaving me. Eric looks at paperwork. Eric. Stability is what we need. Katie takes a step forward. Katie. Then allow me to assist you in managing the story. Eric looks at her. Eric. Compared to your sisters, you are more strategic. Katie doesn't dispute it. Electra either removes evidence or thinks about revealing the truth. It rings on her phone. Unknown. You are still free to leave. Electra fortifies herself. Electra. No. I'm done keeping quiet. With her eyes red from sleep deprivation, Electra stands in front of her laptop. Emails, timestamps, IP logs, and security access records are displayed on the screen. She lets out a breath and steadies herself. Electra. You desired quiet. She selects export files. Electra. You're being seen. Another anonymous message buzzes on her phone. Unknown. You are still free to leave. Electra responds by typing. Electra. It's too late. She picks up her suitcase and leaves. The building is filled with whispers. Worker number 1. They claim that Electra herself leaked the drawings. Employee number 2. Legal is reportedly already involved. Electra moves to the ground. The murmurs cease. People's heads turn. The air is heavy with judgment. Steffi keeps an eye on Electra via the security feed. Finn observes her anxiety. Finn. You find it hard to believe. Steffi gives a headshake. Steffi. No. She folds her arms. Steffi. She is being used by someone. At the head of the table is Eric. He is surrounded by Rich, Carter, Steffi, and legal counsel. Carter is cautious in his speech. Carter. Electra has asked to speak to the board. Rich laughs. Rich. Following the accusations made against her? Eric holds up a hand. Eric. Give her a chance to speak. The doors open. Calm, collected, and fearless, Electra enters. A flash drive is placed on the table by Electra. Electra. I was set up. Rich reclines, doubtful. Rich. That's a serious assertion. Electra looks him in the eye. Electra. Corporate sabotage is the same. She turns on the screen with a click. Emails from her account start to show up, but via a different internal terminal. Electra. At 2:14 a.m., these designs were uploaded. Once more, she taps the screen. Electra. I was flying to San Francisco. There are murmurs. After pausing, Electra strikes. Electra. One individual owns the access point that is being used. She flips the screen. Screen name flashes. Avalon Xander. Gasping. Steffi tenses up. Steffi. Xander. Rich scowls. Rich. That is not feasible. He has very little clearance. Electra gives a headshake. Electra. Not after his access was increased. Once more, she clicks. There's another name. Daphne Rose. The space blows up. Carter jumps to his feet. Carter. Daphne. Even if Electra's voice trembles, she goes on. Electra. Xander served as a protection for her. However, she was in need of an invisible, desperate person. She divulges intimate, incriminating texts. Electra. She desired my position. The room falls silent. Carter approaches Daphne. Carter. Tell me that this is untrue. Daphne acknowledges that tears are welling up in her eyes. Daphne. I was sick of being disregarded. Heartbroken, Carter takes a step back. Carter. Someone's life was ruined by you. Daphne murmurs. Daphne. I wanted mine to be significant. Eric gets up. Eric. Daphne Rose is fired with immediate effect. He gives Electra a look. Eric. Additionally, your name has been cleared. Electra lets out a breath, feeling a wave of relaxation. Steffi goes over to Electra. Steffi. I ought to have shielded you earlier. Electra gives a nod. Electra. I had to defend myself. There's a peaceful understanding between them. A guard looks at the video. Xander receives a USB drive from a shady stranger. The camera stops working. The picture gets sharper. Katie Logan. The guard's eyes enlarge. Katie Logan. Giving Xander Avalon a USB drive. The security chief takes a deep breath. Chief of Security. The video was hidden in a restricted archive. Carter is pale as he stands next to him. Carter. Who gave the go-ahead to suppress? The Chief of Security examines the log. His face is exhausted. Chief of Security. Logan. Katie. Quiet. Emails, board votes, and access requests are all strewn all over Eric's desk. Donna looks on anxiously. Donna. This is not what Katie would do. Eric lets out a slow, deep breath. Eric. She could because of this. He gestures to a chronology. Eric. Every interruption, every leak, every tactical error. Beat. Eric. Enhanced her status. Donna murmurs. Donna. You were all played by her. Eric shuts his eyes. Calm as ever, Katie walks in while Brooke serves coffee. Brooke. You've been quite busy recently. Katie gives a courteous smile. Katie. Opportunities don't come around twice. Brooke observes her sister. Brooke. People are suffering harm. Katie gives a slight shrug. Katie. I did as well. That lands incorrectly. Carter, Eric, Ridge, and Steffi are seated across from Electra. Eric moves the picture across the table. Electra becomes frozen. Electra. Katie. Steffi's jaw tightens. Steffi. You served as collateral for her. Electra lets out a breath, rage taking the place of shock. Electra. She desired anarchy devoid of fingerprints. Eric gives a gloomy nod. Katie examines contracts. Bill walks in. Bill. You haven't said anything. Katie grins. Katie. Quiet wins battles. Bill keeps a close eye on her. Bill. I was unaware that you had gone that far. Katie looks him in the eye. Katie. I didn't require authorization. It dawns on Bill that this was not his war. Katie walks in with assurance. Katie. Did you wish to see me? Eric gets up. Eric. Take a seat. The door shuts. Steffi presses the remote control. The video starts to play. Katie doesn't recoil. Katie. That's not the whole tale. Ridge snaps. Ridge. Electra was set up by you. Katie answers coolly. Katie. I revealed a weak system. Electra gets up. Electra. You came very close to ruining my career. Katie stares at her, unfazed. Katie. You made it through. You were therefore sufficiently powerful. Outrage erupts in the room. Scene 7. Eric removes the mask. Eric moves to the front. Eric. You used despair as a weapon, controlled internal access, and created mayhem to undermine authority. Katie gives a nod. Katie. And it was successful. Eric's voice falters with anger rather than weakness. Eric. You are no longer welcome in this house. Katie cocks her head. Katie. I was invited inside. Brooke approaches Katie. Brooke. Tell me you're not this person. Katie's eyes sparkle, but she refuses to back down. Katie. Power was always bestowed to you. Beat. Katie. I have to accept my. Brooke retreats, heartbroken. A drink is poured by Bill. Katie walks in. Katie. They are betraying me. Bill turns to face her. Bill. You went from plan to devastation. Katie murmurs. Katie. Do you fear me? Bill responds truthfully. Bill. A tiny bit. That says it all. At the podium is Eric. Eric. Forrester Creations will not put up with internal manipulation. Reporters yell. Reporter. Does Katie Logan have any involvement? Eric hesitates. Then. Eric. Indeed. Katie leaves unbroken. Reporters yell as Katie leaves the premises. Reporter. Katie. Did you undermine the business? Katie pauses. Calmly turns. Katie. I put it to the test. Flashes blow up. She continues, her head held high. Shaken, Brooke watches the video. Hope comes in. Hope. She's not giving up, is she? Brooke murmurs. Brooke. No. Her chest is clenched. Brooke. At last, she is emerging from my shadow. Bill is seated across from Katie. Blueprints. Financial forecasts. Examples of brands. Bill. This isn't retaliation. Katie looks him in the eye. Katie. It is self-reliance. Bill grins. Bill. Then let's make it deadly. He advances a contract. Bill. Spencer supports you. Without hesitation, Katie signs. Katie is in front of a select group of financiers, strategists, and designers. A screen illuminates. Reveal of the logo. Logan Dynamics. Gasping. Katie. We don't replicate traditions. She takes a step forward. Katie. We swap them out. A headline is read by Eric. Katie Logan starts a rival fashion and media empire. Eric's mouth tightens. Eric. She picked things up too quickly. Donna pauses. Donna. Do we need to be concerned? Quietly, Eric responds. Eric. Indeed. Steffi slams her tablet. Steffi. She is stealing our skills. Rich massages his temples. Rich. Katie is aware of our shortcomings. Steffi gets up. Steffi. Then we cease undervaluing her. Electra leaves. Katie shows up in the doorway. Katie. Being a pawn was not what you deserved. Electra becomes rigid. Electra. I will not turn on Forrester. Katie gives a nod. Katie. Excellent. She gives a card to him. Katie. Next. Construct a structure that can stand next to it. After hesitating, Electra puts the card in her pocket. A senior designer submits their resignation. Carter looks on in disbelief. Carter. Where are you heading? Silently, the designer responds. Designer. Dynamic slogan. Carter lets out a breath. Brooke approaches Katie. Brooke. The family is being torn apart by you. Katie doesn't speak up. Katie. No. Beat. Katie. I'm demonstrating that I never required it in the first place. Brooke breaks. Brooke. I would have assisted you. Katie has sparkling eyes. Katie. That's the issue. Press. Elites in fashion. Investors. Katie takes the stage. Katie. Power was inherited for much too long. She gives a composed, self-assured smile. Katie. It's earned tonight. A round of applause breaks out. Across town. Steffi has a commanding voice. Steffi. We launch back. Ridge appears uncomfortable. Ridge. Everything might be destroyed by this. Steffi meets his gaze. Steffi. After that, we either survive or change.